Your brain is being hijacked right now. And the worst part? You're letting it happen. Studies from 2026 show that just 5 minutes of scrolling through negative news increases your anxiety levels by 40%. But here's the terrifying truth. The average person doom scrolls for over 2 hours per day. That's not a habit. That's a psychological trap designed to keep you clicking, and your brain is falling for it every single time. If you've ever opened your phone just to check, and suddenly it's 3 hours later and you feel worse about the world, this video will explain exactly what's happening inside your brain and why you physically can't stop. Let's start with why doom scrolling exists in the first place. Your brain has a built-in alarm system called the amygdala. Think of it as your personal bodyguard, always scanning for threats to keep you alive. 10,000 years ago, that meant watching for lions. Today, it means watching for everything. When you see a headline like, "New pandemic strain detected," or "Economic collapse imminent," your amygdala lights up like a Christmas tree. It screams, "Pay attention. This could kill you." And here's the problem. Your brain can't tell the difference between a real lion chasing you and a scary headline on your phone. So what do? You keep scrolling. Because your primitive brain thinks that gathering more information about the threat will help you survive it. This is called negativity bias, our evolutionary wiring that makes us pay more attention to bad news than good news. A study from the American Psychological Association in 2026 found that people are 5 times more likely to click on negative headlines than positive ones. But social media platforms know this. They've weaponized your survival instincts. Every single app you use has one job: keep you scrolling. And the algorithm has figured out that nothing keeps you glued to your screen like fear, outrage, and disaster. Here's how it works. The moment you pause on a post about climate change, the algorithm records that. Pause on a post about war? Recorded. Even if you don't like it, even if you don't comment, the algorithm sees that you stopped. And stopping means engagement. Engagement means you're paying attention. And attention is what these platforms sell to advertisers. So what happens next? Your feed gets flooded with more doom, more disasters, more chaos, because the algorithm has learned that fear keeps you here. According to research from MIT's Media Lab, content that triggers anxiety gets 70% more engagement than neutral content. You think you're just staying informed, but you're actually being fed a curated stream of catastrophe, designed to exploit your brain's worst fears. It's not information anymore. It's psychological manipulation. And your brain is forming a dependency. Now here's where it gets really dark. You'd think that scrolling through terrible news would make you want to stop, right? Wrong. Because there's a hidden chemical reward system keeping you hooked. Every time you scroll and see something shocking, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine, the same chemical released when you eat chocolate, win a game, or get a text from your crush. But here's the twist. You're not getting dopamine from feeling good. You're getting it from anticipation. Your brain is basically saying, "What horrible thing will I see next? Let me keep scrolling to find out." It's the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. You don't know what's coming next. Maybe it'll be worse, maybe it'll be shocking, maybe it'll make you angry. That uncertainty is what triggers the dopamine release. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, the most powerful form of behavior conditioning. This is why slot machines work. This is why you check your notifications obsessively. And it's why doom scrolling feels impossible to stop. A 2026 study from Stanford University found that people who doom scroll for more than 90 minutes per day show the same brain activation patterns as people with gambling addictions. You're not weak. You're not lazy. Your brain is literally being rewired by the content you consume. But here's where doom scrolling gets really dangerous. It doesn't just waste your time. It fundamentally changes your mental state. Psychology Today published research in early 2026 showing that repeated exposure to negative news compounds stress at an exponential rate. It's not just that you feel bad in the moment. Your baseline anxiety level permanently increases. Here's what happens. You see a disaster. Your cortisol levels spike, that's your stress hormone. Normally, cortisol drops after the threat passes. But when you keep scrolling and keep seeing more disasters, your cortisol never drops. Your body stays in a constant state of fight or flight. Over time, this chronic stress wreaks havoc on your body. You sleep worse. You have trouble concentrating. You feel irritable, exhausted, and hopeless. Sound familiar? And here's the cruelest irony. The worse you feel, the more you doom scroll. Because when you're anxious, your brain desperately searches for information to solve the anxiety. But there's no solution on your timeline. So you keep scrolling, you keep searching, and you keep feeling worse. Psychologists call this maladaptive coping, a behavior that feels like it's helping but is actually making everything worse. You think you're staying informed, but you're actually drowning yourself in anxiety. So why can't you just stop? Why does it feel so hard to put the phone down, even when you know it's hurting you? Because doom scrolling gives you the illusion of control. When the world feels chaotic and unpredictable, consuming information feels like you're doing something, like you're preparing, like you're staying on top of things. But you're not. You're just marinating in helplessness. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a clinical psychologist specializing in digital behavior, explains it this way. Doom scrolling is a passive activity disguised as productivity. You're not taking action, you're just absorbing trauma. And your brain interprets that as learned helplessness. Here's the truth. Reading 47 articles about climate change doesn't stop climate change. Watching 15 videos about war doesn't end war. You're not actually doing anything except flooding your nervous system with information you can't act on. And that powerlessness, that's what breeds despair. Okay, so how do you stop? Because if you've made it this far in the video, you probably recognize yourself in everything I've said. First, understand that this isn't about willpower. This is about environmental design. You can't win a fight against an algorithm designed by the smartest engineers in the world to keep you addicted. So stop fighting. Start redesigning. Set app limits. Not suggestions, hard limits. When your time is up, the app closes. No negotiations. Delete apps from your home screen. Make doom scrolling inconvenient. Every extra step between you and the app gives your prefrontal cortex, your rational brain, a chance to intervene. Replace the behavior. You can't just stop doom scrolling. You have to replace it with something else. When you feel the urge to scroll, do 10 push-ups. Text a friend. Go outside. The key is physical movement. It breaks the dopamine loop. Scheduled news time. Pick one time per day, maybe 20 minutes in the evening, to check the news. Outside of that window, your job is to live your life, not monitor the apocalypse. Curate your feeds ruthlessly. Unfollow doom. Unfollow outrage. Follow accounts that teach you things, make you laugh, or inspire you to take action. Remember, algorithms respond to your behavior. Train them to serve you better content. And here's the most important thing. Give yourself permission to not know everything. The world will keep spinning even if you don't read every headline. Your worth is not determined by how informed you are. It's determined by how you show up for yourself and the people you love. Look, I get it. The world is genuinely scary right now. There's real stuff happening that deserves attention. But drowning yourself in an endless stream of disasters doesn't make you informed. It makes you paralyzed. The people who actually change the world aren't the ones who scroll the most. They're the ones who turn off their phones and take action. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, limit yourself to 20 minutes of news per day. Use the strategies I just gave you, and watch what happens to your mental health. I promise you'll be shocked. If this video helped you understand why you can't stop doom scrolling, drop a comment and let me know. And if you're brave enough, tell me how many hours per day you're currently scrolling. No judgment, just awareness. Because the first step to breaking free is admitting you're trapped. See you in the next one.